What if I told you that the biggest difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is not talent, not money, not luck, but discipline? This is the story of a boy who had intelligence, kindness, and dreams, but he was slowly losing his future because he could not control himself. And one day, a simple lesson changed his entire life forever. In the northern part of India, there was a small, peaceful village called Sonpur. The village was simple. People woke up early in the morning, worked hard in the fields, respected each other, and lived honest lives. Among them lived a young boy named Mohan. Mohan was not a bad child. In fact, he was kind-hearted. He respected elders, helped people whenever he could, and had a sharp mind. But despite all of this, he had one dangerous weakness. A weakness so small, yet powerful enough to destroy a person's future. Mohan had no discipline. Every morning, while the entire village was already awake and working, Mohan would still be sleeping. He delayed his studies, wasted hours playing outside, and avoided responsibilities whenever he could. If he didn't feel like doing something, he simply postponed it. His parents warned him many times, "Mohan, if you don't learn discipline now, life will become very difficult for you." Even the villagers used to say, "Mohan is intelligent, but intelligence without discipline is useless." But Mohan laughed at their words. He believed life should be enjoyed freely. Why live like a machine? To him, discipline looked like a prison. What he didn't realize was that undisciplined habits slowly become invisible chains, chains that stop people from reaching their true potential. In the same village, there lived an old teacher named Acharya Haridas. He was respected by everyone, not because he was rich, but because he was wise. His lifestyle was simple. His words were calm, but every lesson he gave carried deep meaning. One evening, Mohan was tired after playing all day. He sat under a large tree to rest. Nearby, Acharya Haridas was teaching a group of children. Mohan wasn't paying attention at first until he heard one sentence. The teacher said, "Children, always remember this. Discipline is the greatest strength a human being can have." Mohan looked up immediately. He thought, greater than intelligence? Greater than money? Greater than power? For the first time, he became curious. After the class ended, Mohan walked up to the teacher and asked, "Master, can a person really not succeed without discipline?" The teacher smiled softly. Instead of answering immediately, he gave Mohan a challenge. "If you truly want your answer, come to me tomorrow before sunrise." Mohan nodded confidently. "I will come." But confidence at night is easy. The real battle begins in the morning. The next morning, before sunrise, the sound of the rooster echoed through the village, but Mohan was still asleep. His blanket felt warm, his body felt heavy, and his mind whispered, "Sleep a little longer." Then, suddenly, he remembered the teacher's words, "Come before sunrise." For a moment, two voices fought inside his mind. One voice said, "One day doesn't matter, you can go tomorrow." But the other voice said, "If you lose this battle today, you will keep losing forever." Mohan struggled. Slowly, he pushed away his blanket, rubbed his eyes, and forced himself to stand up. That small moment became the turning point of his life. When Mohan finally reached the teacher, Acharya Haridas was already waiting for him. The teacher smiled and said, "Good. Today you achieved your first victory." Mohan looked confused. "Victory? I didn't do anything." The teacher replied, "You defeated your laziness, and that is the hardest battle most people lose every single day." Those words hit Mohan deeply.
because he realized something. Getting out of bed had truly felt harder than anything else. The teacher then took Mohan to the nearby fields. The sun was slowly rising, and farmers were already working. Some were plowing the land, some were planting seeds, and others were carrying heavy loads under the morning heat. Sweat covered their faces, but strangely, they looked peaceful. The teacher pointed towards them and said, "Look carefully, Mohan. These people wake up before sunrise every single day, not because they enjoy suffering, but because they understand responsibility. If they become lazy for even one day, their crops suffer, and if their crops suffer, their families suffer." The teacher paused for a moment. Then he said, "Discipline is not punishment. It is protection. It protects dreams, success, and the future." Mohan stood silently, watching the farmers. For the first time, he understood the true meaning of discipline. From that day on, Mohan decided to change his life. He started waking up early. He fixed a time for studying, a time for playing, and a time for rest. At first, it was extremely difficult. Some mornings his body begged him to sleep again. Some evenings his friends laughed at him. "Look at Mohan, he behaves like an old man now." Sometimes he felt angry. Sometimes he wanted to quit. But every time he felt weak, he remembered the teacher's words, "If you can defeat yourself, the world cannot defeat you." Slowly, day by day, Mohan became stronger. Not physically, but mentally. Years passed, and the same boy who was once known as lazy became the most respected young man in the village. He completed his education, started teaching children, and inspired others with his lifestyle. Now, people no longer said, "Mohan is lazy." Instead, they said, "Mohan's greatest strength is his discipline." One day, Acharya Haridas called Mohan and said, "My son, I am proud of you. You have won the greatest battle of life, the battle against laziness and lack of discipline." Mohan smiled humbly and replied, "Master, if you had not guided me, I would never have changed." The teacher smiled gently and said, "I only showed you the path. You were the one who chose to walk on it." Discipline is not built in one day. It is created through small choices repeated every single day. Waking up when you don't want to, working when you feel lazy, continuing when things become difficult, that is discipline. And in the end, discipline turns ordinary people into extraordinary ones. Because success is not controlled by motivation, it is controlled by habits.